Welcome back to Munroe's Corner. We're back with another reaction. Today we got a change of heart towards Jordan, African Brooke, Michaela Peterson podcast. All right, let's get into it, man. We're jumping right in. Roll to 20K. If you enjoy this video, before you leave, give your boy a like and a subscribe. All right, let's get it.
Because I'd had an experience in relation to you years before where I had made a firm decision that I would never in my life listen to anything this man has to say.
Damn.
Based on a 3-minute clip, mind you.
Wow. Wow.
Do you remember what it was that I said that was so profoundly irritating? I mean,
based off a 3-minute clip. She was like, I will never listen to anything this man had to say. True example, never judge a book by its cover.
There's many. Can you tell me what that was?
Of course. You were talking about the gender pay gap. And this was part of a longer interview, the interview that you had with Kathy Newman. And this was a clip, 3-minute clip. You were talking about the gender pay gap, and you were saying that, paraphrasing here, but that the reason for most women is because most women are agreeable, most women don't negotiate, etc., etc. I believe that was essentially giving people options as to why it could be that there's this thing that exists or doesn't exist. And I didn't even finish the clip. I didn't even finish the 3-minute clip. But based on the things that another out of context clip that I had seen before, and the way that I'd heard your name being spoken of before in the context of the trans conversation that was happening around that time, 2018. Right, exactly. Again, I was watching this clip, and it's almost like I wasn't even listening to what you were saying. I had already decided that I don't like this man because someone that I trust has told me that I shouldn't like him. So therefore, the decision is made. Why do I even have to finish that video?
Right, of course.
And it was just, right? Mm-hmm. And it was just normal.
Well, we use heuristics.
And see, the thing about that is, man, like, a lot of people, man, like when they don't agree with you or you get the best of them in a debate or, they don't see things your way, a lot of times they'll try to derail you from the truth. They'll try to derail you by putting a false narrative out there. You know what I mean? And then that false narrative is what you run with. It happens a lot. People run with other people's false narratives instead of looking all the way into things. You know what I'm saying? Like, if your opinions ain't on point with theirs, they just go to extremes to get their shit across. That's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Something like I said, man, some people just can't take an L, man. Just take the L and keep it moving,
It's like that all the time, and
Yes.
It's easy to get caught up in them because, you can't listen to everyone.
Yeah.
And so you kind of have to make a snap judgment about almost everyone. And the default is you don't listen because there's like 7 billion people. So obviously you're not listening to most of them. So you don't need much of an excuse. And it's really easy for that to get. And I mean, it's not like I haven't experienced that.
And you know what I'm saying? We do work on the recommendation system. You know what I'm saying? Like, we function on the recommendation system. But some things you still got to check things out for yourself. You know what I mean? Somebody tell me, I tell someone I'm going to see a movie or such, don't go see it. It's a bad movie. Okay, you know what I'm saying? It might be bad to them. It might, you know what I'm saying? It might be in poor taste to them. Their way of thinking ain't the same way my thinking is. You know what I'm saying? They don't enjoy the same things I enjoy. So, yeah, we work on the recommendation system, but you still got to check into things for your damn self.
On my podcast, I invite people on. Abigail Schreier, for example, she wrote, I don't remember the name of her most recent book, but it's a investigation into the downside of the rush to make everything gender fluid, essentially. And I was terrified when I had her on. I mean, I was in rather ill health at irreversible damage. Yeah.
That's the one.
You know, I want to have Andy Ngo on my podcast, but that also makes me nervous too. And, you know, because he's tarred with the fascist brush, and then it's guilt by association, and that might have been part of what you were feeling. So so you think, well, you need a simplifying heuristic, and part of that is, well, that most people aren't worth listening to, and he's definitely not worth listening to, and then that can so easily become politicized. And once it is, especially when the political has become religious, it's really, really hard to overcome that.
Yeah,
and so,
it really is.
You know, a lot of the things that the radical left are pointing out are in some sense universal human failings. And so they have that truth about them. I mean, because we could ask ourselves, given the implicit tendency for human beings to have a pronounced in-group preference and the potential we have for violence against out-group members, how do we all address our proclivity to damn the foreigner? Okay, that's a really important question.
I feel like I've got a good answer.
Okay, let me add the one end to that, and then the next thing is, well, we all have these proclivities. How are they exacerbated by power and privilege? Right? Those are good questions. But as soon as we make it instantly racist, well, then we can't even ask the damn questions properly anymore. So, Mick, sorry.
My joke is over now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I stomped all over your timely joke.
You stomped all over my tiny little joke. I was thinking about that question earlier, though. If everyone has these tendencies, which they certainly do, I've noticed that if I have a guest on my podcast, and I think my audience is fairly open-minded, but then I'll have a guest on that, and they'll hate them. And they'll be like, well, you can't just, even if you don't agree with them, maybe they are wrong, but like, you can't just cancel people because they don't agree with you, because you're doing exactly the same thing that the people you're complaining about.
Well, you know, and also maybe
that's what they do. They do that all the time. You know what I'm saying? Don't agree with them. They hate them. They can't cancel culture. Freaking cancel culture, man. Maybe your stupid opinions aren't right. They're probably not right. And like, are you so sure your life is going so much the way you want it to go, and you're such a bloody paragon of virtue, and the light is shining out every orifice, that everything you think and say is correct, and everyone who disabuses you of your notions is evil? You're really so sure of that, are you? Yeah.
So, you know, you wander around and you think, God, maybe I should listen to this person because I'm such an ignorant bastard and I'm so full of malevolence, and maybe they'll drop one thing on me that won't make me like miserable and doomed to hell and to drag everyone else there too.
Fact.
Yeah, well.
You know, I felt something similar when I finally leaned into listening to you properly, because what was interesting, even after that moment in 2018, watching that 3-minute clip, deciding this man is evil, I want nothing to do with him ever again. And of course I didn't think I would ever have anything to do with him.
Yeah, look what happened. Ha
Joke's on you.
Right? People especially people that were not really connected to the digital world, a lot of older men in my life, for example, and women in my life would always tell me to read your book. It's honestly, people would always say to me, Africa, you will really love this book. I would have friends of mine send me lectures. I think you're really going to like this. And I would just completely ignore it. And in my mind, I'd be thinking, what am I going to find? What am I supposed to like? Because again, I have this idea of you built up in my head. So I'm finding it very confusing that people that know me very well are telling me that there's something that I'm going to like, right?
Yeah, what the hell?
Very confusing. But again, for years, what the hell? For years, I ignored it. So when I started watching your lectures late 2019 and last summer as well, in the beginning, I could notice myself listening to you and waiting for a moment where I could say, aha, see?
Right.
I knew I was right. And you know what? I waited. That moment never came. That moment never came.
Wow.
That comes for me, right? All the time.
She went she went into it. You know what I'm saying? She went into it with the negative thoughts. It's like just waiting for the moment where, you know what I'm saying, she's about to prove herself right, you know what I'm saying, off her prejudgment, off of somebody else's judgment. You see how crazy that is? She went into it. Like this, it don't get no better than this. She went into it with the expectations very low. Very low. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like he proved her wrong. Like, you talking about an uphill battle. She went into it from her prejudgment from another person's judgment that don't like him. And he still won the battle. I bet her friend is pissed. I bet her friend is pissed.
And that again, so it's like...
That's prime example why you got to stay curious. You got to stay curious out here, man.
It wasn't one moment of being awake and then it's done. So many little, tiny, seemingly insignificant moments where I'm just sitting here by my sofa, just watching and listening, observing myself, waiting, you know, for that confirmation that I'm right. Mm-hmm. And then it never coming. And then I have to deal with that. And then, so again, my curiosity, I finally allowed myself to be curious again. And now, Jordan, I can say you have been one of the most influential people to me for so many reasons. I could...
Stay curious, yeah. I just said it. Yeah. She allowed herself to be curious again. Wow, okay.
Curiosity, I finally allowed myself to be curious again. And now, Jordan, I can say you have been one of the most influential people to me for so many reasons I couldn't even mention right now. But to be able to have the conversations that I do now publicly, you have, and I could have never imagined this ever in my entire life. This is...
Is he crying? Yo. I mean, I could understand that, you know what I'm saying? Because with somebody like him, he's always being criticized, ridiculed, and everything, man. For what he's saying, he just be like he gotta eat a lot of shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And especially when you somebody that's for the world, to try to make the world a better place. You know what I'm saying? And you presenting facts to people and they want to argue with emotions, and because they get emotional about you debunking their myths or opinions or whatever, they want to go destroy you. You know what I'm saying? They want to go run the cancel culture. You know what I mean? They want to go run your name through the dirt. So to actually have a conversation with somebody that has been brainwashed by people from the cancel culture and this hate mob of Jordan Peterson, to actually have a conversation with her and hear her talk about how he actually changed her mind and changed the way she thinks about things, and allowing herself to be curious again. I know that means the whole world to him. Yeah. That's powerful.
Never imagined this ever in my entire life. This is, things like this don't just happen. And the fact that I can tell you this.
Oh no.
That's real.
Thank you. Just thank you. Thank you.
You got him.
It's a real spill right there, man.
It's a pleasure. It's a rough pleasure, but
I know.
You know, you knew what happened to me.
Appreciation of appreciation.
Marvel Comics.
What happened with him with Marvel Comics? Now I gotta dig into that. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what videos I need to go to research that.
What happened to me with Marvel Comics?
Yeah.
That was something. It's really something to see yourself portrayed. You know, I got accused of being a Nazi pretty much when all this happened. It was really something because I had been teaching students what we're talking about today, about these temptations that you faced and how people, as individuals, get sucked into that totalitarian hell. You know, and then, so that was something for that to happen, such a reversal. And then to have that comic book come out, well, it was surreal. It was absolutely surreal to be portrayed, because Nazi wasn't enough, right?
They portrayed him as a Nazi in one of their comic books? Are you serious? What? Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, we got to check that out. We
had to go right for the archetype itself. So I think we've raised about $400,000 for charity now on the basis of that. So that was a fun reversal. But it was really shocking when I first saw that. I just couldn't believe it. I was very ill at the time too. And I thought, this can't be real. This has to be Photoshop. This cannot possibly be happening. It's so completely beyond comprehension.
Wow.
And, you know, to come from the pen of one of the foremost black intellectuals. And I use the racial category only because that's the categories that he's using to operate within.
Yeah.
You know?
So life is really weird.
This is true.
Right.
Wow.
This is true. As this whole conversation illustrates.
Wow.
Because I'd had an experience in relation.
Wow. That's crazy. That Marvel bit. Wow, that threw me for a loop right there. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out. But yeah, that was some that was real dope watching, man. To hear how somebody was brainwashed, and then the fact that she stayed curious. She allowed herself to be curious again. Now she really likes him, you know what I'm saying, and really appreciate his teachings and everything he's bringing to the table. That was amazing. That was dope. All right, man, let me know what y'all think about this this conversation, man, and put it in the comments. Let's talk about it in the comments, man, and let me know what videos I need to check out for that Marvel joint, and I'm gonna get on it. We're gonna watch it together. All right. Yeah, man, that's crazy. But yeah, man, stay curious out there. Don't just believe what they tell you. Look into it yourself, man. That's I'm gonna be doing a lot of that on this channel, man. We're gonna stay curious out here. All right, peace out, one love. Make sure you like and subscribe, man.